Pablo, I hope you've been training, eating your bran flakes, and taking your Viagra, because you're going to need them. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in this multi-part series as I take on the company known as LJN. Now, this company made a lot of piece of shit games from the late 80s and early 90s, but I'm going to take a different approach. I'm not going to try to just explain how their games suck. I'm actually on a quest to find a game that I like from LJN. Oh yes, a game that I'll want to play once this series of reviews is over. I said certain games had to be disqualified, in fact. Back to the Future, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street. These games have done enough damage and caused enough scars to people. So LJN said fine, let's begin with a little classic known as Jaws. The biggest problem that I have with Jaws is its simplicity. And I know what you're thinking, there are a lot of simple games out there that were good. Pac-Man, Galaga, Space Invaders, but there was something truly enjoyable about playing those games. This one just doesn't have that. And especially when you're paying 40 or 50 bucks for it on the Nintendo Entertainment System at the time, you're wanting something a little bit more, especially when this year, in 1987, you were seeing The Legend of Zelda and Contra come out on video game consoles. This one, all it is swimming from one side of the marina to the other, collecting shells, and occasionally run into a big fucking tailfin that wipes out your boat and sends you on with a one-on-one battle against the big man himself. Well, fortunately for you, in your conquest to collect shells, you get to run into bonus scenes. And in these bonus scenes, you get to run around in a little single-engine plane for no reason whatsoever, shooting bowling balls at jellyfish. I truly don't remember that part of the movie. Someone could write back and let me remind me of it. I'd greatly appreciate that. So anyway, you hit Jaws with the receiver, which really doesn't matter because you're going to see his big fucking tail fin sticking out of the water. That's when I know he's around. So anyway, we're back swimming back and forth with those little shells that we collected and getting up our power. Now, you'll probably need power 4 or 5 when taking on Jaws because you'll actually get a chance to bust down his energy. Because if you're at level 1 or 2, you're going to knock it down some, but he regains it so quickly it doesn't even matter. And it's almost unfair at the quickness which he regains his levels, regains his power. So anyway, we finally weakened him down. And here's simple as this. Line up, hit A, hit B, he's dead. And the game's over. And here's the ending screen. Thankfully, back in 1987, my parents didn't spend the 40 or 50 bucks to buy this game for me. Because instead of buying this, they could have bought The Legend of Zelda, Contra, Castlevania, other great games that were coming out at the time. This game is too simple, too annoying, too piece of shitness. Anyway, we're getting to Spider-Man, Return of the Sinister Six. And LJN said, oh, you're going to like this one a little bit. It's going to remind you of Shinobi or Ninja Gaiden. I said, that's a pretty tall order. Are you sure you want to say something like that? They said, sure. It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's got to play like it too. And little things already start to piss me off, like this little fucking annoying gate that's standing there, and it doesn't do anything except just give you something to jump over. It doesn't serve any sort of purpose, and you don't know if it's part of the background or foreground, so it makes you think that other things that are in the background are things that you're supposed to jump on as well, and they're not. So it's just confusing. So anyway, you get towards the end of the first part of the first level, and suddenly you are running into everything on the ground because you can't see a damn thing. There are these little bombs, I guess, that are on the ground. I just kept running into them, so I kept getting hit by this fucking electricity. Next thing I know, I'm down 3/4 of my energy! But that's not what's going to frustrate me the most. That part's coming up. It's these little shit shooters right here. And it's not them that pisses me off, it's the fact I can't kill them. And why can't I kill them? Because I jump over them. This is such a horrible fundamental flaw in designing a game, I don't even know how to explain it. And here's another great fundamental flaw, something I would have expected from Action 52. You cannot jump and at the same time hit your enemy. Could you imagine Ninja Gaiden, Double Dragon, Super Mario Brothers, where you can't hit your enemy while jumping? So anyway, I get to Electro, and I think, hey, he's just standing there. I'm going to take a few free punches at him. No, I don't get to do that. What do I get to do instead? Make it look like I'm smelling his fucking armpits. Great job, guys. So anyway, I guess I punched the little red lever over here, and I went into a fight with him. Now, this fight would be a lot simpler if I could jump up and hit him. But no, we don't want that to happen. We don't want you to actually have a fair fight. So fortunately, I get one of those accidental jump kicks, and I get to defeat him. Well, Sandman's supposed to be the next level, but he's just going to have to fucking wait because the game stops here. So far, you're 0 for 2, LJN. Better step it up, bitches. Hey, Pablo. Didn't you always tell me that one of your fantasies was to hump and take a shit on 2 games at once? Well, here's your chance, buddy. Go have some fun.
Oh, good God almighty. Pablo is tearing up Spider-Man. Another Spider-Man cartridge. The security's in the ring. We need this broken up now. This is a big mess. Pablo is tearing up the Jaws cartridge, and Spider-Man is fighting back. And there's a security guy. Listen. Yeah, oh my God! LJN is dead. There is blood everywhere. That's it. We had enough. Somebody stop him. Somebody please stop him. Finally, we got some control in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. We have no idea what caused this, but this was not part of the storyline. This is a big mess. What a mad turkey.
Hey, this is Pabrtrky. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. Everybody's had a happy new year. It's 2008 now, and it's time. It's time for LJN Volume 2. We've got 3 games on the menu today. Let's hope we don't have to make a Volume 3. So our first game is Beetlejuice. Maybe if I say his name 3 times, I won't have to play this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Well, hell yeah, what you got to say about that, Michael Keaton? Oh, well, fuck you too. Anyway, here's how the game works. You start playing, get hit 3 times, and you lose a life. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. It's cute, right? Well, only when I fucking do it. Otherwise, it sounds stupid. So, you're in the first house, and you've got to hit these red switches. Well, first thing you've got to dodge are these deadly Burger King warmer lights. So, you dodge those. Well, you didn't actually hit the switch, but, you know, that's close enough. So, here's where you start to notice the jumping on this game. It sucks. You feel like you're driving a car on solid ice covered in oil slicks. It's just mind-boggling. So anyway, here's the next switch. You hit that. And now the next switch is covered by a shark fin. You know, that's actually the part of the shark that kills and eats you, right? Well, there just went 2 of my Beetlejuices. So, but I've hit the switch at least, so now I can sit here, wait on the cloud, wait on it. Oh, here it is. So now I can jump up here, get ready to... Oh, that was a cheapskate hit. So, after the cheapskate hit, I have to continue because I lost all my lives. 3 continues, and Michael Keaton shows up, tells you he had a bad day. Well, guess what? I'm playing LJN games, I've got no beer in the fridge, my car's broke down. You tell me who's had the worst fucking day. He wants me to play again? Well, fat fucking chance. Damn it, Pablo! Why'd you hit the start button? Anyway, here's some more great things about the game. You can use your B button for a mighty foot stomp, but that doesn't work on the bugs. Or maybe you can jump out like Super Mario Bros. Well, fat fucking chance there too. It looks like I'm supposed to go into the store and buy some scares. So, anyway, I've got my help vouchers, so now I'm going to go buy me a couple of scares. So guess what, Scorpion bitches? You're going to get ready to taste my scariness. So come on and bring it. Here we go. Oh, fuck! Great game design, guys. Here's more great LJN game design. Dumbass. So here's where the oil slick jumping comes back into play. You can't control the jumping. Then when you get hit, it's anything goes. Same goes when you jump and you hit something. You might as well let go of the fucking controller. You're actually more in control when you don't touch it. And then you can throw in a cheap hit that doesn't hit me just to kill me off. Now I'm supposed to jump on top of this guy. Nope, not that time. He runs into my feet and I'm the one who dies. You're supposed to jump on top of him. Here's proof of it. I'm fucking done. Next. It's the Incredible Crash Dummies. Tycho should have put a fucking disclaimer on this one. Hey, LJ is check cleared, so here's a game. Trying to make me feel good with that thumbs up? Well, here's how I really feel. Better drive your car into the front room so you can buckle your seat while playing this. Well, here we go. So first thing I noticed, my dummy has a wheel. Have you ever seen the dummies with a wheel instead of legs and feet in the cartoons and commercials? The answer is no. Okay, anyway, so I hit a wheel and I lost the life bar. But hit this car and you get thrown back to the fucking beginning. Hey, did you guys notice something there? Kind of weird. Oh, never mind. Anyway, so now I guess I have a fire extinguisher. Hit it with that fire extinguisher and I can get past it. Woohoo! Smoke screened your ass, didn't I? Anyway, you're supposed to collect cones here. I don't know why. I understand. Ooh, smoke screening those evil crash test dummies. Why are there evil crash test dummies? I don't fucking know either. All I know is if I accidentally brush into one of those evil crash test dummies, I get launched back to the fucking checkpoint. Check that shit out. Look at that. When I blow up, I don't have a wheel anymore. I've got 2 legs. Consistency at its finest. Anyway, I get hit by a drop of water on my shoulder and I lose a life. Okay, let's go back. So, I got the balloon which turns my suit red. Why? Don't know. Don't care. Here we go. Jumping on the ledges. Thanks for giving me a wheel so I can bounce all over the place and have no control. And again, I'm dead. Let's try that jump one more time. Chest out. No arms reaching out to help me any. Just like everyone else jumps. No control, fall off the ledge, run into the car by accident, and get launched back to a fucking checkpoint at the beginning of the level. Check please, we're leaving this shit town. So now it's time for TNC Surf Designs. Great wave sound, sounds more like white noise on my TV after hours, but anyway, we're going to play this. So we've got 2 options that we can play. We can either use the skateboarding, or we can use the surfing. Well, I'm going to try the skateboarding first. Let's see, I've got the normal dude and the chicken guy. I'm going to go for the chicken suit guy. So me and Tiki Chicken Head are going to go try this level out. We're going to try this game. Okay. Controls feel pretty simple. Back and A to hold a skateboard. Just press A and you just regularly jump off of it. I like the controls. This game isn't bad. That one was my fault, in fact. I didn't press back and A whenever I jumped. Except I don't like that it killed about 3.5 seconds for no apparent reason. But that's sort of a minor flaw when it comes to the skateboarding part. Again, I hit my A button too late. So, oh my goodness. I actually kind of like this one. This is kind of fun. The controls are simple. The gameplay is fun. It feels pretty relaxing. You know, moderate level of difficulty. I'm sure when I get to other rounds, it's going to get a little more difficult, but I can adjust to that. I might just want to play this one again. We might just have a winner here. The only thing that's got to happen is that the surfing's good too, and we're going to be set. So hell yeah, let's get set up for that surfing game. Alright, I'm going to pick Thrilla Gorilla. Alright, let's do this. If it's controls just as well as that skating, then we're set. What's... Okay. What the hell is this? Dude! I don't even know a better word for this than dude! I mean, you try to go forward, there's no way of going forward. You push backward and you just go any freaking direction. I have no sense of how to control this. And now I'm dead. I'm already done. Fuck you! So anyway, I give this another try, and it's pretty much the exact same crap. In fact, the only way that I really beat the first couple of rounds in the surfing was just pressing right, letting myself fall down to the bottom, doing that a couple times, and eventually getting to the end of the level. I guess that's how you're supposed to do it, because I can't understand the controls any other way. So, man, this was close. I'm pissed off, but this surfing is fucking beyond horrible, so do you're screwed. Over 3. Well, Pablo, we were mighty close there with TNC Surf Designs, but we've got to make a Volume 3. And this time I know what we're going to do. We're going to play the sports games, because I know that LJN made a good sports game. They did make a good sports game, right? Well, we're going to keep our fingers crossed, because I got a good feeling about this one. But as for these 3 games, Pablo, it's time. Pablo, I know you're still a little sore from Gaming Palooza 3, but we've got to get this done. It's time for LJN Volume 3. This time, we're going after the sports games. And damn it, we're going to try to find a game that we like. Now, the first game we've got today is Major League Baseball, and it starts annoying you before you ever even hit the field. After you've picked your teams, you have to go and pick your lineups, and you got to make sure you have the right amount of infielders, right amount of outfielders, make sure you got your catcher in there. Instead of having like a preset lineup and you can just substitute in and out, it's very annoying. But anyway, let's get to the field. The first thing I don't like about this is that you can't move your player from side to side when you're at the batter's box or you're on the pitching mound. Now, if you play RBI or Baseball Simulator 1000, you know how spoiled you are by that. And I also don't like how the outfielders throw the ball. Just look how it stays in that one linear straight line. I just mean it's not natural for an outfielder to throw like that. But on the plus side, this game, once you learn the timing, it is very easy to hit on. It is very easy to start hitting a bunch of home runs. The only problem is, it is so damn slow. This is literally real time watching a home run. It took about 25 seconds. And there's another thing about this game that's pretty funny that's coming up here. The pitchers can sometimes, when they throw a slow ball, it's so slow, you can literally swing twice and still get your power hit on it. Seriously, the ball is going faster as it approaches first base than when it first gets thrown. Here's one of those negatives that you can't move back and forth. That goes across the plate, but you can't hit it because of where it's located on the plate. I also don't like the herky-jerkiness, and you'll feel it whenever you play it and you hit it, and there's this weird delay and there's this weird sound. It goes, "Ew," and just don't really care for it. But overall, it's not a horrible game. I just don't recommend it. RBI, Baseball Simulator, and Little League Championship Series are just much better games. The good fact is, though, it's easy to score, as you can tell by my 40-12 score. So let's go to the next game. Now, coming up next is NFL football, and it's bad. I mean, 10-yard fight and John Elway's quarterback are twice the game that this is. And if you play John Elway's quarterback, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I've selected one player. I don't know what one player with handicap was. I didn't get a chance to try that out. I picked an interconference game, Packers versus Colts. Now, the one thing I do like is that you can pick a different team package, so that way you can focus on where your strengths and weaknesses are. I thought that was a neat option. But seriously, that's about the only positive it really has. Now, here's a coin flip. Okay, it looks like I'm going to kick off. And you have to watch this kickoff. This is happening all in real time. I don't even get that. For some reason, you just sit on the ball for about 2 seconds and then later decide, oh, I'm finally going to kick it. I guess the players, this computer receiving it, I guess you can't move your players to actually catch a kickoff. Here is the thing that truly pisses me off. I do not know what play I just called. The only way I know is it shows up right there, and it looks like I just called a field goal block. So anyway, you select your defensive player. You can only choose from 4 of them. You can't choose any of the players. And you'll notice by whatever the arrow is next to them, and you have to press that in A. If you don't do it quick enough, it just automatically picks one for you. It doesn't really matter because it's so fucking slow to get to the ball. And this is a perfect example of how slow it is to get to a ball. Apparently this is meant to be a handoff, and whoop, just goes right by him. And look how long it takes for one fucking player to get to the ball. I swear I was playing this in real time. I cannot stress that enough. I mean, there's 13:20 left in the goddamn first quarter. Let's just skip to me at least getting the ball and see how I do. So here I am. Don't know what goddamn play I picked. Guess I picked a single back formation. So I guess here's what you do, and it took me a few plays to learn this. You've got to hit the A button to hike it, hit the A button to bring up what receivers you want to throw to. Look for those little fucking arrows on top of the receivers. If you can see them, you can't see them half the time. Press that direction and the B button, and then you can finally throw it. It's just so much frustrating when you play Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl how easy it is, and then play this one and it just feels so difficult. And it's just so hard to catch the ball sometimes. It's like right there. I know where my receiver's at, but my QB decides, hell, I'm going to throw him short just for the heck of it. So now it's 3rd down and 14. And to be honest, there's one little feature in the game that would be decent if everything else didn't suck so much. And that's whenever you throw the ball and having to move your receiver around and move around the defense to catch it. That would be nice if everything else wasn't so bad. But let me show you this. I actually scored a touchdown in about my 4th time of playing this. And somehow I just plow through about 3 guys and get it in for the score. Thankfully, the Colts defense is the same on NFL football that it is on Tecmo Super Bowl, so I can actually score myself a touchdown. And here's the kick. Got the point after, and we are fucking done with this game. Let us go to the next one. Now, the last game we've got is Roger Clemens MVP Baseball, and it gets a couple of things right that Major League Baseball didn't get right. The first thing is the regular season, which I kind of like how it's set up. It's set up for the last month of the season. You're about 5.5 games back in the division, and you have to catch up and still win the pennant. It was a little bit different. I kind of like how that worked. It stinks that you can't use the Major League teams as you can in MLB, but you understand it because it's built around Roger Clemens. And if you actually had the Major League teams and the real names and all that stuff, it'd take a little bit away from the fact that it's Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. So I get that. Okay, so we've got the New York Buffaloes against the San Francisco Quakes. Let's listen to the national anthem, and away we go. I know it says play ball, but we're going to skip to the bottom of the 1st inning because that's when I go to bat. Again, I like that you can move side to side in the batter's boxes and pitching mounds, but here's where I get pissed off from the first pitch. It's because their fastballs must go at about 150 damn miles per hour. Seriously, unless you have the reflexes of some cat-chicken hybrid, you cannot hit this fucking fastball, and you're going to spend the entire game trying to time your batting around how that fastball is going to come. And sometimes you still can't even do it. It is just so fast. Here's one other thing that pisses me off about this game. It's the camera's point of view. Now let's say you have a lob that goes over the second baseman's head. You cannot go out with that second baseman, even if he's the closest guy to go get it, because the camera switches point of view and it draws lines. Your outfielder cannot go past this certain line in the camera's point of view, and your second baseman can't come back, so you're just stuck. It draws this imaginary glass shield, and it's stupid. Anyway, one last thing to show. They hit a home run. They're in the gray uniforms. Of course, it shows the white uniforms hitting the home run. Stupid. Pablo, I don't get it. Especially with the baseball games. I should have liked one of them. All you have to do with a baseball game is fucking copycat what works from other baseball games and put it onto yours. It's not hard. But LJN makes it hard. And now I've got to do Volume 4. I will find an LJN game I like if it kills me. Pablo, go finish those games!
Hey, it's Pabrtrky over here at Gaming Palooza, and I'm getting ready to show a great moment for... Fuck, where'd that game go? It's for Double Dragon 2. It's a pretty good game. Pablo! Stop taking a shit on the game! This is actually a good one! Cut it out! Hey, it's Pabrtrky here. If you've watched my YouTube account before, you know that I've made some great moments of Nintendo. And this was actually one of them I had on there before, but I ended up removing it. But with Wrestle Vessel doing the Double Dragon 2 review, I thought this was the perfect time to start bringing them back, and I'm going to bring back several more like this as I'm playing a game and I notice there's a really fucked up moment, so I can present it to you guys, and thank you for Gaming Palooza for allowing me to do that. Anyway, this one is called Suicide Diver. I was actually recording this footage for a Nintendo music video I was working on when all of a sudden this happened. And I went, what the hell? Fortunately, I pulled it back on slow-mo instant replay. Dude does a fucking double cartwheel. Nice cartwheel, fuckface, right into the door. Well, anyway, I gotta go. Just remember, the only thing that's better than being sucked off is watching someone else get sucked off too. It's a nice feeling. Anyway, talk to you guys later. I'm going to bring back the Guerrilla War review and an LJN segment of games I might actually like. Well, it doesn't look like I'm putting this game back in my Nintendo. Thanks a fucking bunch, Pablo. So, go do what you want with it. Go!
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
The new guy at Gaming Palooza. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I want to thank Gaming Palooza for inviting me to come along. I really appreciate it. I hope I make some good videos for you guys, so keep watching. Pablo! Get off the damn screen! Now it is time for Action 52, that notorious piece of shit from 1991 that cost $200 if you wanted to buy it. Now that sounds like a good deal, $4 a game, but obviously, if you think it was a good deal, you've never watched or played the games. And I feel sorry for you. Actually, I don't. I feel more sorry for myself, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, this game is a perfect example of why parents should stay out of the video game marketing. Let their fucking kids play the video games. Because this parent, he got frustrated with the cost of the Nintendo games because they're $20 to $50 per game. I thought about the cost of Nintendo, and it was getting pretty expensive to buy for my son. Well, granted, you probably were buying it Back to the Future and Friday the 13th, but if you were buying it things like Final Fantasy and Super Mario Bros. 3, you probably wouldn't be complaining as much. So instead, what do? You drop your job in international banking, you come build fucking video games. Great job, buddy. Anyway, this is Ooze, and the reason I'm pointing this game out is because there was a $104,000 contest. If you were lucky enough to play Ooze, if you're lucky enough to beat Ooze, you had a chance to win. You took a picture of the ending credits, showed the little code, and you had a chance to win. The only problem was, I guess the game was built with a glitch. And often between level 2 and level 3, the game would just sputter out and you wouldn't even be able to finish it. So, great failed job, guys. I guess there are glitches to get around the glitches, but that's just a little too fucking much. And sometimes it just isn't worth $104,000. This game, Jupiter Scope, is a perfect example of what is wrong with this. This is something that you would just own for Atari. This is worse than something that you'd have on Atari. Hell, Missile Command gave you more enemies, or Centipede. Instead, you're just sitting here waiting your time, and if enemies come and pass right by you, there's not even any sort of recourse. It's just, oh well, hopefully I'll hit it this time. Anyway, next we have Sharks. I'm pointing this game out. It was one of the 2 highlights from this entire game for me, of all the times I sat and played it. And that was the simple ability to shoot ass harpoons. That's right, shooting the ass poon, baby. That's pretty bad if that's all you're looking forward to out of 52 games and a $200 price tag. Thank God I never had to pay that much for it. Anyway, the next game I'm playing here was Crybaby, and this is my real highlight for this game. You know, this guy who was building a family-oriented 52 game set, you know, because he was thinking about the family and keeping it lower per cost for each game. Yeah, look up there at that upper left-hand corner. It's just popping right out of nowhere. Is that kid? Well, yes, he is. Look at him. He's just beating it right off. And in fact, you slow it down. Oh, he's trying to time himself this time. Wow, he's trying to go for that record. Well, anyway, yeah, you bring your little baby up there. Well, first it might cry. But once you bring it up there to take a look, oh yeah, this is a great fucking family video game moment. You should pay attention to those glitches a little bit better, son. Now is the time. Now is the reason you spent $200 for this video game, was to buy Cheetah Men. The only game which happened to get a sequel made, even though it was never released until 1997, and only because they found some extras in a warehouse. Anyway, they had a big marketing plan for Cheetah Men. They were going to try to make it the next Ninja Turtles. Well, if you're planning to make it the next Ninja Turtles, the first thing you might want to learn is how to spell the Cheetah Men. First, it was spelled with two words in the title. Then it's spelled without an H. Then it's spelled with the H in there. Maybe that's just me being picky. Anyway, during this game, every second level, you have a different Cheetah Man that you're going to use. But that's funny because you use the Cheetah Man for the first 2 levels. So, another wording mistake. I guess we're going to have to get past it because with this cartridge, you got to get past a lot of things. Anyway, you're sitting here with your little wooden clubs that either look like little slapjacks or I don't know, those fucking things, little rattles that you use in a 3rd grade music class. Anyway, if it weren't for the sound effects, you wouldn't actually know when you hit a guy or when the guy's hitting you. So if you get the volume turned down low, next thing you know, I guess there's not a life meter either, so I guess you just got to count it in your head. When I get 4 hits, I'm dead. But this is the most enjoyment I got out of this whole fucking game, was doing the Running Man with Ares. That's pretty bad. But it's still a good Running Man. Well, anyway, here's the second boss in the same situation. You would not know when you're hitting this guy if it weren't for the sound effects, because he makes no emotion, no whatever it is that you're looking for. You know, when you hit a guy, you usually get a little bit of a response. No, this game's too good for that. Oh! Unless we forget that great mechanical jumping sound every time you try to jump. Yeah, and this one, you don't even know if it's been 4 hits. So, Hercules, I mean, look at that. 1 fucking hit and he's dead there. Well, so much for this game. I'm not even going to try to get to the rest of the levels. It's too frustrating. Instead, let's talk about Cheetah Man 2. And your new man, the Ape Man. Oh yeah. The Ape Man's going to come kick the Cheetah Man's asses. Unless you fight with your shadows! Anyway, this game is beyond glitched. It's beyond tolerable to play. The one good thing that you get is a life meter. But your life meter is going to pass so fast because enemies are going to hit you on the head when they just pass over you. Or you're not going to be able to jump over that enemy at the right time. And you're going to pretty much end up like I'm ending up here. You're not going to be able to shoot it because it's not in range of your weapon. You can't duck to get the lower enemies. So you have to do this make weird little jump and hope that you shot it at the right time. So, that's enough of that one. I'm done with it. Anyway, this has been my review for Action 52 and a little bit of a history lesson about it. I'm going to work on doing this because this is my first one and I don't know how well it was, but I'm going to keep going, trying at it. Next time, Guerrilla War. Thanks for listening. Pablo, it's time. Furnish him!
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
To the Fight Palace.
And indeed, welcome to this review of Fat Man for the Sega Mega Drive. Now this game has had several different titles. Tongue of the Fat Man for PC, Mondo's Fight Palace for Amiga and Commodore 64, and Slaughter Sport for the Sega Genesis. But I just prefer to go with the title Fat Man. It's big, it's bold, and it says it all. Now I know when you look at Mondo the Fat Lord, you immediately think of Jabba the Hutt. But I tend to think a little bit more between King Hippo from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! And Krang from the Ninja Turtles. Now there are some features about this game that I actually like. Whenever you're hitting each other, your fight purse builds up. Now when you win your battle, you take this fight purse and you go and buy your health and build it back up. You can build your attack power, and you can also buy one of 12 different abilities. You can hold up to 4 different abilities at one time. So there's actually quite a bit going for this game. The biggest problem that it doesn't have going for the game are the fucking controls. You have to hold in the A button in order to do your normal kicking and punching attacks. You don't have a choice, because if you keep trying to button mash to go a little bit faster, or if you just want to hit it on a regular basis, it just doesn't work right. The other problem with this game is it's too fucking hard. It's too hard. I only beat the first guy 1 time. And whenever you normally get beat, this fin comes out and this fucking dinosaur comes and swallows you whole. And whenever you lose 3 times, Mondu comes on the screen and says, "Hey, why don't you just get out of here? I'll let the thrash sharks eat you." Wasn't that what just came and ate me, you dumb fat fuck? Are you blind? Now, after you beat the first 3 guys, Mondu starts to give you these keys. The first key is revealed, L, B, C, C. What we do is we go back to the title screen, punch L, B, and C, and then hit start. And we've unlocked ourselves a few secret characters. The first one is Edwina, who has the cool ass snake coming out of her mohawk. She actually makes you feel like you have a chance of going against the first person in the game. Now, other people you can play as are Bonaparte, who has this real strange, nice, heart-shaped pelvis. Great for childbirthing, I guess, but he's just not my guy, though. Other characters include Robo-Chick, not to be confused with Robot Chicken, who essentially likes to peck and punch on your crotch a lot. And then there's Ramses the Bull, who I think is an absolute fucking waste of time. There's no point of using him, because usually you're just going to end up taking it in the butt one way or another. So, skip on this person. Now, if there's one person that I would tell you to bet the house on once you unlock to go back to this game with, it is Stump. Now, Stump kind of looks like a roided up version of the Slimer guy from the Ghostbusters movies, but he's going to fucking tear through the first guy, and you only need to know one move to get all the way to the final boss in the game. One fucking move, and once you do it, you'll be taking out every single character. Just hold the down button, hold A, and fucking sit and spin. Now, it's going to get a little tedious and boring because some of these bosses are going to fly around you, but they're going to come around eventually, and they're going to get hit. And even those jump attacks, which would normally wipe out one of your guys, have no effect on Stump and make things so much easier. Eventually, you'll get to the fat fucking Lord himself, and all the moves that I just taught you, might as well throw them out the window, because you're not going to be able to apply that same technique on him. He has ground attacks out the ass, and once he hits you enough times with his butt, especially if he can do it a few times in a row, it's over. You don't even have to lose all your energy. He can just sit on you enough times and let that fucking thrash shark come out and do its business. What I would tell you to do is go in there with a bunch of freeze attacks, make sure your health is looking good as possible, your attack power is looking good as possible, keep freezing it, and try to beat the fuck out of him! Another thing to do is keep him locked up in the corner as much as possible so he can't do shit compared to what he can do out on the open floor, baby. So now we've been freezing and punching and freezing and punching, and we finally get to see what the fat fuck looks like whenever we take his ass down. Ooh. That's pretty fucking ugly. Anyway, the Thrash Sharks have done their business with him, and now we fucking rule the Fight Palace. It gives us one last code, which is A and B, D, L, and guess what we get to do? We get to have our turn to play Mondu the Fat Lord. And while his moves may completely kick some ass, there'll be points that'll piss you off because you're trying to hit a combo, and suddenly he decides, oh, I'm just going to say, welcome to the Fight Palace. And guess what? You end up getting your ass kicked by the first guy once again. So trust me, he may be fun to look at, it may be fun to play as once or twice, but if you're going to beat this game, stick with the Stump. Overall, this game was fun to play for a few minutes, but then it quickly wears out its welcome. You're not going to mistake this for Mortal Kombat. You're not going to mistake it for Street Fighter 2. It's nice that you can unlock the codes and play as the different characters, but trust me, just go on the internet, get them, and play as them, because you're not going to want to play this game long enough to sit there and try to earn all these fucking codes. But, like I said, it's alright for a few minutes. It's fun to watch the fat fuck for a few minutes, and then it's over. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. I had fun, and it was interesting to play this game. If you have any more suggestions, I'll gladly take them. Just don't expect me to like it. Have a great day. Pablo, Fat Man was definitely an interesting game, but it certainly wasn't one of my favorites. It had one big issue. It didn't have a fatality. Not a real one, anyway. So, Pablo, go finish it!
Welcome to the fight.